Hi, guys. I hope you're doing well. Happy Wednesday, hump day. I am coming to you live from my happy place. If you spend any time listening to me talk, it's probably not hard to realize that I grew up in the South, and I grew up specifically in East Tennessee. And so I am really happy to be here with my family, all of whom are working from home. So we are all in this pretty small space with fairly thin walls and taking calls and we've got a group text going. Don't interrupt me, or please hold the noise down. I'm on a conference call. So it's been a lot of fun, but we're working from home and maintaining all of the rules, but also in a really happy place. So I'm feeling very, very fortunate to be with all of them. And I'm really fortunate to be with all of you. I just wanted to touch base and talk specifically about a few things that are going on in the world of marketing. You know, I am a firm believer, and I say it all the time. It is the days of being a DIY marketer and navigating messaging and communications on behalf of your brand. Those days are, in my opinion, over. It has been relatively easy to manage marketing on behalf of one's own small business. But I feel very strongly that access to the tactics, meaning you have the login and password in the app on your phone, is not equal to a really solid strategy that relies on best practices and connects your organization's people and systems to your marketing and storytelling. And I have a couple of blog posts, and after this video is finished, I'll post the links in the comments section. But one talks about, and I'm not sharing the name of the organization, although it's really easy to find, I suppose, but I saw, and maybe you did too, a news story about an ice cream shop that closed down only one day after their big reopening. And the news story really talked about the poor behavior of so many of the customers. And once you hear it described how it all went down, it really was bad behavior. It was a really traumatic experience. And it's really easy to relate to how it must have felt for this small business owner who has been, we can just imagine, so concerned and so stressed, and there's so much going on. And he puts a plan together and he reopens, and it all goes horribly wrong. And it's easy to be a Monday morning quarterback, and it's easy to look and say, you know, oh, you could have and should have and would have. But there really are, and I talk about this a lot in my blog posts, there really are a lot of ways that you can hopefully draw inspiration from and a lesson from, and all of us really can, that it is so important to always work on connecting the people and systems and the marketing of our organization. Because the truth of the matter is, we really shouldn't always be surprised when things don't go as we expect. And that seems to be the rule of the day. So I'd love to hear what you think of that. Again, I'll post the comments, but I'd love to hear feedback from you guys of what are some challenges that you have been surprised by, because I am a planner. I am always trying to forecast. I'm always trying to scrub that crystal ball. But the truth of the matter is, no one can foresee every unforeseen circumstance and stumbling block. And so I'd really like to hear from you guys. Lisa is here, and I know you, I didn't know that about, Lisa says that you opened and closed in the same day. I didn't know that. And I'd love to hear more. And if you have like lessons learned or specific insights that you can share with us, and Lisa, you're always so good about sharing your insights with us, so I appreciate that. But it's tough. It's really tough stuff, and I don't think it's getting easier, and I don't think none of this is this reopening. I'm in Tennessee right now, and things are far more open than when I left Michigan, and so it's so exciting. I'm getting a haircut at a local place. I'm sure you guys will be happy to hear that, and we're probably going to be able to eat out, maybe, kind of, sort of, this weekend, and so it's interesting to see all of the different small businesses and how we're all sort of left to our own devices. And one of the reasons that I treasure the Marketing Idea Exchange so much is because we can be in this alone, but we can align and tap into our collective wisdom. So while I wait to hear if you guys have any specific insights about lessons learned for reopening, I'll share with you that one of the coolest things that we just added to Marketing Idea Exchange membership is something we're calling peer group calls. So since we launched the Marketing Idea Exchange, and most of you know, Marketing Idea Exchange actually started in 2008, 2009. It was pretty informal. I was working at an ad agency at the time, and I just had this sort of loose network of people who were small business owners in the area. And as we've done these live video Facebook events, I've had a couple of them pop in. These are people who were part of the original Mix group, which was local businesses. And we just sat around the table and shared ideas and success stories. And we brainstormed and we helped one another do what we all do better. And that's where I learned the power of collective wisdom. I launched Marketing Idea Exchange in its current version 1 year ago. And one of the coolest things that I have been able to add to the member benefits is actually going on this week. And I may add another round of them. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not to join, now is a perfect time, because we are now offering, in addition to all the other live training, we have the recorded courses, we have tools and resources, we have a content calendar, we have all kinds of things. But now we're doing small peer group calls. And my very first director of marketing job 20 years ago, I very quickly learned that business owners and business leaders, regardless of the industry, they really appreciate and rely on and lean on the advice that they get from their direct peers. In other words, physicians really enjoy talking to physicians, and pawnbrokers really enjoy talking to pawnbrokers, and dentists to dentists, and so on and so forth. And so for that reason, the Marketing Idea Exchange, one of the benefits of it is you will get to tap in as a member. You'll get to tap in to lessons learned from outside of your own industry, because let's face it, sometimes our own industry can get to be a rather shallow gene pool. But one of the nicest things is that we're now enjoying and we're having a great time. And I am learning so much, and I am seeing so much learning go on between members. So we're having small peer group calls, and they're really, really meaningful. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not Mix is right for you, now is a good time to join, and I'll post that link as well. Another blog post that I will share with you that I would love your feedback about is, and actually Lisa was the first to share the news, but there was a big story yesterday that Mark Zuckerberg has announced the rollout of Facebook Shops. And it's exciting. And the truth is, I suppose we really shouldn't be surprised that there are all sorts of tools and resources that are now being launched that will help increase a small business owner's ability to connect with their customers online. So there's still a lot to be learned about it, but I didn't want to lose focus on the fact that you really are currently able to sell items on a shop on your Facebook business page. If it's my understanding is correct, then we've always had the ability to list items, well, not always, but for some time, we've had the ability to list items for sale in a catalog on your business page, on your Facebook business page, and then use Instagram to do what's called shoppable links. And I have been a huge fan of these for a really long time because people on Instagram are really ready to make a purchase. And if you can make it easy for them and make that link, if you can make that graphic, that post shoppable, then I have seen tremendous success with that. And it sounds like, my understanding is that this is going to be a lot more seamless than it is now. But don't overlook the fact that you don't have to wait for this new version to launch. You have the ability now to list items on Facebook. I would also encourage you which brings me to the second blog post that I want to share. I've seen a lot of people launching their avatar, and for some, it's the first time that if you did it from a mobile phone, then it may have been the first time that you have clicked on that little menu option in the bottom right-hand corner of your Facebook app on your phone. And if so, then I want to draw your attention to a couple of other tools that, again, have been around for a little bit, but are newly listed in that options menu. And that is Town Hall. Town Hall is a one-stop shop for finding your local legislators. Now, for pawnbrokers like Lisa, it has been for a long time really important to have an established dialogue with legislators and lawmakers on every level because she's in a really highly regulated industry. You may be in an industry that you haven't thought of as quite so highly regulated. Maybe you are a corner bakery or a salon or a yoga studio, and you haven't previously thought of yourself as being a business owner that is necessary to have a really strong relationship with your lawmakers. All of a sudden, this crisis hits and your business is being greatly impacted by legislators and lawmakers and the rulings that they put out. And so it's an important thing now that you know who the legislators that govern your business, who make decisions that impact your business, you know who they are, you know how to get in touch with them. And so Town Hall is the way that you access that. Another one is Facebook offers. I've already shared with you guys, if you participated in the Road to Resilience Challenge, I shared with you guys that Facebook is rolling out a gift card locator tool. And I really recommend that if you have a local business, you check out Facebook's gift card function. It's only now launching, and so it's not fully deployed. But what you can do in the meantime to get ready is to establish gift cards on Facebook. And when you do that, people who live in your area will log on to Facebook and they will see an opportunity to support local businesses from where they are. This is huge. This is essentially equivalent to Facebook advertising your business on your behalf. And all you have to do is just go through the process of setting up Facebook gift cards. So make sure that you take advantage of those existing tools, and then I want you to as well share information as we learn it about the new upgrades to Facebook's shopping ability. It's not entirely surprising because any small business owner is seeking ways to connect with the revenue they need and the community that they serve. And so all of us are really looking, and it's a nice, for all of the sad and challenging and negative things that are a part of all of this crisis, and some of which are really, really serious, one of the nice silver linings is there are a lot of new tools that are being developed that will help small businesses in the future. So if you have any questions, if you have any comments or feedback, I'd love to hear from you. I'm also curious, how is it going with those of you who have gone through the Road to Resilience Challenge? I just spoke with one of the participants on the phone a couple of days ago, and he was telling me that anything that he puts under the category of a COVID update is getting tremendous, tremendous visibility. So if you haven't completed that Road to Resilience Challenge, I really would encourage you, reach out to me. I can send you those links directly. The way we did it is we sent them to people's inboxes right into their email every day, and they took daily steps that were really important to marketing and messaging. But I'm happy to send them directly to you because we talked a lot about the types of content that you need to be focused on right now, as well as the places where publishing that content is so essential. And Google My Business is the #1 online channel that you need to be watching. So if you have a limited, you really shouldn't come down to this fine a point on it. But if you had to choose, you shouldn't. If you had to choose between posting to Facebook and posting to Google My Business, right now, Google My Business should be your highest priority, just for many reasons that I explain in the Road to Resilience Challenge. So if you weren't able to participate the first time around, be sure, reach out to me. Drop your info in the comment section and I'll get that information directly to you. So those are the things I wanted to touch base with you on for now. I am always interested in hearing from you. What are you finding is a surprising challenge? Again, Lisa, I appreciate you telling us more about your reopening. I'd love to hear more about your lessons learned. Share with us, because all of us, let me say it a different way. None of us have all of the answers, and none of us are as bright and wise as all of us. So I will look forward to tapping into your collective wisdom the next time I see you. I'll see you in the mix.